Hello, my beloveds. Today we're going to talk about what it is to be an adult. What does that mean? And do you think you're an adult? At what point did you consider yourself grown up and just prepared for everything? So this is Avalon, who today is 17, but tomorrow, how old are you going to be?
18.
18. So we celebrate big in our family. Birthdays are a big deal, mainly because we work really hard. You know, my daughter, she works very hard at school. She does volunteering at church. She does piano. She's just on the go from morning till night. And so that being said, when we do have an opportunity to play, we play just as hard as we work. Anyway, so tomorrow you're 18, and what do you think is going to be different between today and tomorrow? Or what it is to be 17 and then 18, what the world considers to be an adult?
Well, so in my opinion, nothing's going to change between today and tomorrow. Adulting is something that it means you take responsibility for things you've done. It means you have more responsibility and you take care of those responsibilities in an adult manner. And I think that that's not really something that happens overnight. It's something that you have to learn. And so grateful for parents that teach you how to do that when you're young. But I'm excited to be 18. I'm excited to be able to vote. I'm excited to be able to get some scratch tickets. But I think that my responsibility and
Wait a minute, scratch tickets? We've never done that.
My responsibilities over time will start to grow, and I will be more of an adult. I obviously right now I have to pay for gas, but continuing to pay for gas, get an income to put in to my bank account to get more money to get gas.
Right.
So I think that it's just things grow over time. It's not going to be an overnight thing, but more and more responsibility and more trusting the Lord and knowing that He will take care of me is very important. And I think it's an adult thing to know how to own up to your faults and fix them and address them, and not hiding from situations but addressing them head on.
Well, what I think, my biggest flaw as a parent before this, because I've been a parent, this is my last, out of five kids we've had in our house, and my biggest flaws as a parent is not allowing my daughters really I didn't let them really endure hardships as much as I tried to fix everything and control things, control pain from entering our house. And I just think I was overwhelmed and going through my own hormonal issues. But Avalon, she's becoming an adult at the, when I'm I'm much healthier emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically, and understanding the significance of allowing her to make a lot of choices, and none of them are like, whether they're good and or bad, but her being able to choose to, sometimes if she makes a bad choice, I don't stop it because I know the consequences aren't going to be permanent. That's a big deal, whether they're permanent or not. But she's gracefully kind of accepted. She's walking into it and allowing us to still be like, she's still under our umbrella, under our influence. We're still the authorities in her life, but handing over more and more things to her that she can learn how to navigate what it is out there in the world. So yeah, not a lot of things are going to change. For one reason, she's been very trustworthy, and that's unique. She's shown herself to be trustworthy, and she has a relationship with the Lord. She's been teachable. What do you think your best and worst traits are as you're coming into adulthood?
I think my best is, I don't know, I learned a lot from my siblings, and I didn't like being the youngest when everyone was here, but I love being the youngest because I learned a lot from them. And over more and more time, I learned how to learn, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
My worst trait would be, I can't pinpoint it because I'm human and I mess up, and I know that I have to work on.
Would you say it's still?
I guess like communicating. I guess that's something that is hard for me, is being completely and totally honest. It's not that I blatantly lie or I say white lies, but adulthood requires trust with your parents, especially ones you have relationships with, and that's my choice whether to be trustworthy, and I think that sometimes it's hard to choose to be honest and to be real and open with them. I think my best trait is, I have no idea. What would you say my best trait is?
Well, I think ultimately, even when times when you've been confronted with things that have hurt you or disturbed you, made you angry, you always come back and say you're sorry, and it's incredible humility. You go think it out and you consider what happened and like, oh, listen, I was being really selfish. I was being very prideful. I hate that I hurt you. And I mean, that is unique and it is golden and it is humble. And I think as long as you carry, of all the things that any human can ever have, it is humility is fantastic. And knowing you've seen our track record is like we always forgive. 100%. Why? Why do we forgive? Because he first forgave us. Who are we not to forgive? And you know that your dad and I aren't perfect. And you're not expecting perfection out of us. And you've heard us apologize to you, correct? And ask for forgiveness, and that's a big part of our family culture. But your best traits, I think, is like among that with that your humility, but it's also there's a tenacity in certain things that you do. You give it 100%. I mean, I love that, and you're not addicted to your phone. That's a big deal. We are going to let her, do a couple more things, and just not just let her. I don't want to say that, but just kind of guide her into that world of social media. But with to have great discernment and knowing that it's like letting a wolf in the house, and especially with somebody that hasn't really navigated those waters. So that's the next thing that's happening. It's been very peaceful in our house. It's been wonderful to have her become a young adult in our house and be willing to walk it out. Like, we want to gently guide her into adulthood, teaching her everything from bank account to maintenance on her car to, I mean, those are big deals, understanding taxes, which, all these adult responsibilities, but also to be incredibly discerning. She's got a great friend group. And so that's been tremendous for us. And she's been discerning who maybe shouldn't be great friends, knowing that maybe those aren't good influences right there. So it's been an extraordinary opportunity to, coming an empty nester, which I don't really know what that means. It means that we don't have any more children in the house, but we will have a young adult in our house. And we love that. We celebrate big. We're doing the dinners and doing the parties and doing the outings and really just, this is like the last big, kid birthday party that she'll have, and so we're trying to do it really well. And the other thing is like college. What do you think about college? I mean, yeah, it's just silence there. We're looking at different colleges and different ways to like go from, graduating from high school and what is next. University, they're eating our kids up. And, I 9 out of 10 stories, it seems, maybe 8 out of 10 stories, the kids just lose it. They're gone. They've divorced their parents. They've left their faith that have gone to universities. And that's a major concern. And not to say it happens to everyone. Some of them fall deeper in love with Jesus because they literally hold on to the cross. You have both concerns and, and what other things do you have going on in your head?
I just think the world very much so wants kids to go to universities because they pressure the fact that you have to have a good education, to go to a good college, to get a good job, to get good money, to have a good family, and to have a good life. And all of that is very material. That's very materialistic. And I think that as we are called to not be like the world, but actually set apart from the world, and I think that the Lord calls kids to college, and I think that people do really well, and they find more and more the heart of Jesus at college. But for some people, college isn't in
not the answer,
plans for them, and I think that that's okay. And I think sometimes it's really hard to realize that God's plans are so much better than ours, and that
we're gonna seek the kingdom first.
Yeah, I make plans, but the Holy Spirit leads me elsewhere.
Well, Avalon, I want you to know that your dad and I are very proud of you, and that we absolutely believe that you're a kind of a big deal, and we love you. Happy birthday, baby.